Hi, my name is Ashley Johnson. I am a Northwestern alumni. I graduated with my associate's degree in biology, and I went on to transfer to CCSU, where I've got my bachelor's degree in biomolecular sciences and a minor in chemistry. My journey to college and higher education started out pretty traditionally. After high school, I went to a very nice private college up in upstate New York, and I very quickly realized it was not for me. I was pretty fiercely independent, and being on campus with a roommate in freshman dorms really wasn't for me. So I decided to come back and take some time and figure out what I really wanted to do. Um, I ended up taking a few years off. So when I was certain that I did want to pursue my education further, and I knew I wanted to do something in science, and maybe not exactly what, but I really had an intention and an intent to go back and really pursue something and realize my academic potential. Northwestern was always there for me. It had always been a fixture of the town, and I was already familiar with it. So it just seemed like the next logical step. Um, Especially as a non-traditional student in my mid-20s, I was completely financially dependent on myself. I knew I needed to go somewhere where that was supported, somewhere where people understood that I have priorities and goals that are outside of my education, that I can't take full-time loads and classes that are at inconvenient times. I was still working part-time job. I was still paying for my apartment, for my car, for my groceries. It was very important that I went somewhere where that was understood and I could be supported. Because I didn't have a great experience at my first college, I didn't really know what to expect from Northwestern, but it actually ended up being the best choice of my education. I ended up being able to work my part time job. I didn't have to take out loans. Um, and the experiences that I got there were absolutely priceless. There's no way that I would have been able to do half the things that I did at Northwestern at another university. Um, I ended up getting work study, which was a huge help. I made some really great connections and friends through the faculty there, which I still maintain today. I also ended up going to DC to give a poster presentation for the science department. I got to meet with legislators and educators from all over the US and give my 2 cents as a student in science about what they could do to help us and help us into the industry. I also got to go to St. Louis to do a poster presentation, and uh, myself and a few other students got a grant to go to Spain, where we got to learn about their STEM education as well as how industry is managed in another country. And that was probably like one of the best experiences I could have asked for. I also had friends who went to other countries like France on STEM grants. And they also got to do lectures and interact with people in other countries and STEM programs and really just kind of make this wonderful cross cultural connection. And I know that I wouldn't have gotten that same opportunity had I been at a traditional university competing with hundreds or thousands of other students. My favorite part about Northwestern was that I can always turn to my professors. It's a small department, smaller classes. Usually, the professors will run more than one class in a given discipline, and you get to know them really well, and they get to know you, which is the most important part. So you're given these opportunities and these chances, not just to travel, but they genuinely want to see you learn. They genuinely want to see you succeed. And they're very understanding of anyone who has obligations at home. I know I went in a non traditional student, but there are plenty of 18 and 19-year-olds that have a lot of obligations to their family where maybe a traditional university isn't the best option for them. Maybe staying close to home or pursuing half of their education at a community college is the best option. Because Northwestern is such a tight knit community, you really get to know your professors really well. And you'll start to see that they keep you in mind for opportunities, whether it's a mentorship or a shadowing program or a scholarship or a grant. Um, they get to know you and they get to see what you would be interested in and what would be a good fit for you. And I actually ended up doing a shadow week at the Jackson Laboratory, where I got to shadow in their clinical laboratory, which I definitely don't take for granted. It's very hard to find those opportunities. And I now officially work there. This is my first full time job after graduation. I work in clinical quality assurance, and I get to be a really important fixture for the lab. I get to report out patient data to states and make sure that everything's running smoothly. I also get my own unique opportunities through the Jackson Laboratories as well. They're very committed to furthering your education. They often host educational seminars that you're welcome to attend virtually now, but they also host a variety of people on campus as well. They're very committed to furthering your education. They offer so many different classes online and opportunities for you to grow as an employee and as someone working in the science field. So my path may have been pretty non-traditional, but I feel super accomplished and proud of myself today. I'm so happy with the job I'm at. I'm so happy with the accomplishments I've made in my education. And because I chose a route that maybe wasn't the traditional route, I ended up with a lot of perks too. I ended up with no student loans. I ended up with actual retirement savings, which doesn't sound super interesting when you're in high school, but trust me, once you hit 25, it's a big accomplishment. So although I'm kind of taking a pause right now and just enjoying my new job, enjoying the fact that I earned my degree and enjoying my paycheck, I know that there's always more to be learned, and I am so excited to see what's going to call me next. I'm excited to hopefully mentor some students in STEM and maybe even pursue some further education. Hopefully, I've showed you what getting a degree can look like from a non-traditional point of view. And hopefully I've inspired maybe some of you that were on the fence about going to school to at least look at certificate programs or maybe just look at a different, more flexible way to get your degree. Education's for everyone. There's every walk of life, there's every age group, there's every income level. It's absolutely obtainable if you want it. I really hope you guys utilize all of the opportunities that are in front of you in your communities, through businesses, through the community college, through mentorship programs. I really wish you guys the best and best of luck on your journey.